To tell you that Melly told him that he was too front?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument.
Judge Fiend said that YNW Melly should be allowed to go home before his trial starts on Friday, March 28th. His lawyer, Raven Liberty, gave a second request to the Broward County Clerk, asking the court to let Melly out of jail before the trial begins. The request is 9 pages long. It explains that Melly has been waiting too long for his trial. It also says that the jail where Melly is staying has very bad conditions. His lawyer said the prosecutors have not shown strong proof that Melly is guilty. So, they believe Melly should be allowed to stay at home with some fair rules until his trial starts. In Florida, the law allows someone to be free before trial, even in serious cases. But only if the prosecutors cannot show strong proof that the person is clearly guilty. Melly's team said the state could not do that, even in the first trial. But the prosecutors do not agree. They said a person from a group called Rogo Block shared something important. That person said Melly told King Von that he did not want to share money with other YNW members anymore. Melly trusted King Von and told him this secret. But after King Von passed away, some people close to him told others about it. YNW is a real business. Melly and Bortland did concerts, sold clothes, and worked with brands to earn money. But Sakchaser and Juvie also wanted a part of the money, even though they did not help with any work. People who knew King Von and how he solved problems might think they know what kind of advice he gave Melly. Things got even worse for Melly when the police looked into his phone. They found some messages that made the situation more serious. Just a few hours after the crime happened, someone sent a message to Melly asking if he was okay. Melly replied, "I did that," and added a smiley face. Later, at 4:02 in the afternoon on October 26, 2018, another message came from the YNW Melly P account. It simply said, "What?" Police also found a video saved on Melly's phone. It was from a Facebook Live video, recorded only 6 hours after the crime. The video showed Melly and Bortland. Even though it was early morning and 2 of their closest friends had just died, Melly was still smiling and acting happy. He was very calm and positive. The video showed no sign of sadness or pain over what had happened. Later in court, the lead prosecutor started talking about the physical proof in the case, especially the Jeep they were in. During the first trial, a police officer named Sergeant Williams spoke about it. He said that the facts showed this was not a drive-by shooting, like Melly's side had claimed. When the officer was asked how many gunshots were fired, he said 3. He said the shots came from the back seat on the driver's side. He also said that the Jeep was not moving when the bullets were fired. Only one bullet showed a little movement, but the others did not. This showed that the shooting happened inside the car while it was standing still. Sergeant Williams said clearly that the crime took place inside the vehicle. Later, Juvie's mother came to the court. The lawyer asked her to say her real name and if she had a connection to one of the people who died. She said, "Yes, I am Christopher's mother." The lawyer then asked if she saw who got into the gray Jeep that day. She said yes. She said her son sat in the back seat on the right side. Then the lawyer asked who sat in the back seat on the left side. She said it was Melly. Melly's lawyer stood up in court and spoke clearly to the new judge, Judge Fiend. He asked the judge to please allow Melly to go home and stay there until his next trial begins. The lawyer explained that during the first trial, no gun was ever found. Because there was no weapon, they could not do any real or proper testing to prove anything. Without that kind of evidence, it was hard to say for sure what really happened. The lawyer also brought up new GPS information. It came from a phone that Melly had. The GPS showed that Melly was not at the scene of the crime when it happened. Instead, it showed that Melly was actually running down the street at that exact time. This new information made the defense feel more confident that Melly was not guilty. Judge Fiend listened to everything very carefully. He looked at all the details, the documents, and the evidence presented in court. After thinking about it, the judge made a very important decision. A short time later, a tweet about it went viral all over the internet. The tweet said, "Judge Fiend says Melly should be given a chance to get bond before his trial. He has been sitting in jail for years without being found guilty." This is not right. Many people online started talking about it, and some were shocked that Melly had been in jail for so long without any final judgment. While everything was going on with Melly's case, his ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, also found herself in the middle of the spotlight. She had just been released from jail on February 9th. After getting out, Mariah decided to speak from the heart. She posted a message on social media where she thanked the people who stood by her side. Her message was warm, honest, and full of love. She wrote, "To my village, thank you. I love you all very much. This is God's plan, not mine." Her words showed how much she appreciated the support she received during such a hard time. Many people were touched by her message. Some even sent her kind and uplifting replies. It was clear that Mariah had people who truly cared about her and wanted to see her do well. However, even though Mariah was finally free and out of jail, she was not completely happy. There was something that really hurt her. She felt deeply embarrassed and sad because her arrest was shown on local television. This was a very private moment in her life, and seeing it on the news made everything feel worse. It was her first time ever going to jail, and she was taken to Broward County Jail. Before this, she had never been in trouble with the law. The whole experience was scary for her, and being in jail was already hard enough. But what made it even more painful was how public it became. She did not expect her face and story to be shown on TV. That made her feel like her personal pain was turned into entertainment for others. Even with all the pressure around her, Mariah tried to stay strong. She knew her name was now tied to a very big and serious case. But her post showed that she still had faith and believed that everything would work out in the end. As for Melly, his legal team continued to fight for his freedom, hoping the judge would make the final choice to let him go home until the trial began. Mariah was arrested by U.S. border officers at Miami International Airport. This happened on a Monday when she came back from an international flight. The court records showed that Mariah had been told to speak in Melly's first trial in the year 2023. But here is something that helped Melly. Because of all this, Melly now has to decide which lawyers will speak for him in court. He has spent 2,159 days inside jail. When this came out in court, it shocked everyone, even Melly himself. One of the lawyers said, "Mr. Demons has to choose who will be his lawyer. We have already been in jail for more than 2,000 days. So how much more time will you give us to decide?" The judge asked if they needed just 1 or 2 more days and told them to keep the next day clear too. The judge was very surprised that Melly had stayed in jail for so long without a clear reason. He said strongly, "Tell me clearly why Melly should not be free by tomorrow. If you cannot, then I will allow him to go home on bond." After hearing this, the prosecutors made a bold move. They tried to make Bortland speak against Melly. Now, they're trying to put both Melly and Bortland on trial together. There is a reason behind this. If both are tried together, it saves time and the state can get both of them to speak about what really happened. There is also a chance they will blame each other, and that might help the truth come out. But Melly's side wanted something different. They wanted the 2 trials to be separate. That way, Melly could say Bortland was guilty, and Bortland could say the same about Melly. The state disagreed. They said the main charge is the same for both. The only thing that is different is the punishment. If Melly is found guilty, he might get a bigger punishment than Bortland. But both of them are facing the same serious crime. The prosecutors believe that if Bortland really did not do it, he would not want to stay in jail forever. That is why they think he might speak the truth and turn against Melly. Most people do not know this, but Melly's lawyer already tried to say Bortland was the one who did it in the first trial. In court, the lawyer said when Henry came to the hospital, nobody saw him sitting in the waiting room. Instead, he was seen in the driver's seat of a car. He had changed his clothes and had gunpowder on his hands, which shows he fired a gun. He also lied about where the shooting happened. He lied about how it happened. He even lied about having a phone. One witness, Miss Bradley, said, "Everybody keeps a phone in their pocket." But Henry had no phone with him, which made things more confusing. More proof came out that Bortlen had not been honest. He was the one with gunpowder on both his hands. He was also with Juvie and Sakchaser when they died. A scientist came to court and talked about the gunpowder. He said Bortlen's right hand had 2 gun particles and his left hand had 2 more. This showed that he might have used a gun that night. Then something strange happened. On the same day Melly's trial was declared a mistrial, Bortlen posted something online. He tweeted, "Mind games do not work on people like me," and added a handshake emoji. It looked like he had made some kind of deal or was thinking deeply about something. But that was not the end of Melly's problems. Soon after that, Melly's mother started trending online. She made headlines after she created a fan account while Melly was still in trial. Later, she gave an interview and talked about why she started it. She said, "Why not? You can earn money while you sleep. I turned 40 this year, so why not do something different?" The interviewer asked her, "Did you already start it?" She said yes. Then he asked, "How was the first day?" She smiled and said, "It was really good." When he asked how much money she made, she answered, "About 40 on the first day." This news spread very fast on the internet. Even DJ Academics gave his thoughts. He said, "This is really confusing. Her son is fighting for his life in court, and she is doing this now? I do not understand why." In hip-hop, there are some mothers who seem to enjoy the spotlight just as much as their sons. Many people talk about this. One example is Blueface's mother. But another story that has caught attention is about Melly and his mother. Their relationship always seemed a little different. But still, no one thought she would do something like this. Some fans are now asking, is she doing all this just to make money? DJ Academic spoke about it. He said he does not think it is about money at all. He believes there must be another reason behind her actions. But people on social media do not agree. They have different opinions. In an interview from 2 years ago on No Jumper, Adam, B Slime, and Jamie King talked about Melly's situation. Adam said Melly had spent a huge amount of money, and not only on lawyers. Jamie King added he spent money on things that were not really important, like expensive cars and gold chains. But he is not even free to wear those chains. So I asked him, "Why are you buying jewelry when you are not even here to wear it?" B Slime agreed and said, "Yes, paying for good lawyers was the best thing he did. But still, a lot of money that should have gone to lawyers was used on other things instead." Then he said something that made people think even more. Now, he does not even care about wearing chains anymore. This news spread very fast on the internet. Even DJ Academics gave his thoughts. He said, "This is really confusing. Her son is fighting for his life in court, and she is doing this now? I do not understand why." In hip-hop, there are some mothers who seem to enjoy the spotlight just as much as their sons. Many people talk about this. One example is Blueface's mother. But another story that has caught attention is about Melly and his mother. Their relationship always seemed a little different. But still, no one thought she would do something like this. Some fans are starting to question whether she is doing all this just to make money. DJ Academics recently spoke about the situation. He shared his opinion that he doesn't think it's about money at all. He believes there must be another reason behind her actions. However, not everyone agrees with him. Many people on social media have been sharing their different thoughts and opinions on the matter. This topic was discussed in an interview from 2 years ago on No Jumper, where Adam, B Slime, and Jamie King spoke about Melly's situation. Adam shared that Melly had spent a huge amount of money, and not just on hiring lawyers. According to Jamie King, Melly spent money on things that didn't seem important. He mentioned things like expensive cars and gold chains, and raised a valid point. He spent all this money on jewelry and luxury items, but he is not even free to wear those chains. Jamie went on to say that he had asked Melly why he was buying jewelry when he couldn't even wear it himself. It seemed like a strange decision, considering the situation he was in. B Slime agreed with Jamie's thoughts. He said that spending money on good lawyers was probably the smartest thing Melly had done, as it could have helped with his legal battles. However, B Slime also mentioned that much of the money that should have gone to lawyers was used for other things instead, like buying expensive items that Melly couldn't even enjoy. It raised a lot of questions about Melly's priorities at the time. Then, B Slime shared something that made many people think even more. He said that now Melly no longer seemed interested in wearing chains or luxury items at all. This made people wonder whether the things that mattered to Melly before had changed over time. The whole situation caused people to reflect on what was really important to Melly. Fans were left wondering whether he was truly focused on the things that would help him in the long run, like securing his freedom and dealing with his legal problems, or if he was distracted by material things. It seemed like a strange combination of choices, spending money on items he couldn't even use, while also trying to deal with the heavy weight of his legal troubles. It's clear that DJ Academics believes there's something more behind her actions, something deeper than money. He doesn't think she is simply trying to make money off of the situation. But that's not what everyone thinks. Fans on social media have been very vocal, with some agreeing with Academics and others feeling that there are other motives at play. There are those who feel that the attention and the money connected to the situation might be leading to a bigger conversation about what really matters. As the story continues to unfold, the opinions continue to be divided. While some people think Melly is making bad choices with how he spends his money, others feel he's just caught up in the pressure of his situation. But no matter what people think, one thing seems clear: there's more going on here than meets the eye. The way Melly's money has been spent, and the fact that he no longer seems interested in some of the material things that once mattered to him, raises deeper questions about his values and what truly matters to him moving forward. The way fans have been reacting online also speaks volumes. It shows how invested they are in understanding Melly's actions and whether his choices are helping or hurting his situation. Some believe that Melly's decisions might be coming from a place of trying to secure his future, while others think he's making mistakes that could ultimately have negative consequences for him. In the end, it seems like people are still trying to make sense of everything, and the conversation continues to evolve. Ultimately, it's not just about money or fame. It's about what matters to a person when everything is on the line. Whether Melly was buying jewelry or paying for the best lawyers, it's clear that he was trying to navigate a tough situation in his own way. But fans are left questioning whether he's on the right track, or if the distractions are only making things more difficult for him. It's a complicated story, and the full picture is still unfolding.